between the two of you, I'm convinced every single screw up here is loose.
Nah, we're just not guys.
Not going to argue that point, are we, Darren? Several people have accused that of us for several years, you know.
Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the icy Randy Twyford.
And I'm Emma Derflinger, and this is episode 87.
87. It's an early morning. We got Emma out of bed. Emma had a busy schedule, and she's wanted to record all weekend long that interfered with Randy and I's schedule. And then she had this idea that she wanted to record this morning at 7 o'clock, which anybody that knows Darren knows that 7 o'clock is a ritual 7 days a week. It's called breakfast.
Right.
That was
and I'm
a rookie
like,
mistake.
If you're going to record in the morning, we're going to record at 5:30 in the morning. Well, Emma's like, I'm going to be out until midnight. I'm like, well, you're going to have to suck it up. So here we are, 5:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. Randy and I got our fresh brewed coffee.
I do have an energy drink. I'm trying to bring some life into me, I guess.
Emma likes to play with the young kids at night and then try and be responsible.
What was that sentence?
Well, you were playing with your friends last night.
No,
but
I don't like playing with. I just went out with. Let's just say that.
Same difference.
Same difference.
It's weird.
Were you out gallivanting in the night last night, Randy?
Nope. I was coming home from a catering about 9 o'clock and then went to bed. Because I knew I had to get up early.
I was in bed by 8 o'clock because I knew I had to get up early. Got way too much sleep. Oh, man.
Be careful. You're going to have too much energy today.
I know. I have to figure out what to do with myself.
I'm flipping you guys off in my head. I just want you to know that. But I'm fine. I went to a comedy show last night. So
was it funny?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. He did his whole stand-up about being 39 and still getting to go on like family vacations and stuff. It was pretty relatable. I mean, I'm not 39, but it's still how like your parents still take pretty good care of you well after they probably should. But,
yeah, I know. I hear about that every day.
Yeah.
Isn't there an old song, an old country western song, 39 and Holding or something?
I don't know.
I don't listen to music, so I'm going to have to defer that one.
And I don't listen to old country songs, western songs.
Yeah, well, it's been because I'm old. There's an old song, so.
Old song. Oh.
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was good. But we had to get drinks. It was like a 2-item minimum.
We had to get drinks.
Well, did you show a 2-item minimum? I don't like that. That feels like a crime in itself. I had to order something. I just wanted water.
What do they do if you don't drink?
There was soda, but you get a souvenir cup if you drink, so I had one. So I got a souvenir cup.
Isn't it amazing how people fall for that?
Okay, so it was a $10. Listen, it was a $10 cocktail. It was going to be $10 no matter what. And they put it in these souvenir cups that they take back when they're done with your drink. So I had to be sly about it because I was like, I'm taking my souvenir cup home. If you're going to give me a souvenir cup, I'm taking the souvenir cup home.
So wait, whoa, hold the bus here a second.
Yeah.
So you bought a souvenir cup.
Did they call it a souvenir cup?
Yeah, yes.
But so you weren't supposed to take it home.
On the menu, it's a souvenir cup. Oh,
that's kind of fucked up.
Okay, so listen to this. So on the menu, it says, like you get their signature cocktails and it comes in a souvenir cup. Well, when they come around, I mean, because like it's dark in there when servers come to check on you. So if your drink's gone, they're like, "Hey, you done with that?" And if you say, "Yeah," they'll just take it and never bring it back because that's just how that works.
Because
So-
most people are old enough, they don't give a shit about a little cup.
Well, I cared because it was a cute cup. I was like, okay, funny bone, pop off. And I don't know if the podcast knows this about me. I have a really weird cup addiction. I don't know where it came from. I blame my mom. But specifically coffee mugs, I have, I think, 30 coffee mugs. For what? I don't know. I love them. I keep buying them. I use all of them. It's weird. But
Huh.
Do you have a Shiggin cup?
no, but I would love one.
Maybe I should get you one.
Yes. If you ever want to give me a gift, you give
Maybe
me a coffee
we should get
mug.
some Cue the Mic cups printed.
Oh my god, that would be a dream.
I wonder if we have any in the budget. Is there any in my budget? Oh, nope. Sherry said no.
Sacrifice on everything. But anyway, so
Sherry said
I
no.
wanted this souvenir cup, but obviously my drink had ice in it. So I had to be sly about it, and I waited till one of my friends finished their drink that didn't come in a souvenir cup. Dumped the ice, and then I stuffed that bitch in my purse. I was like, I'm making sure this is coming home with me.
So you had to steal your souvenir cup.
No, but I don't know. It said souvenir cup, but it was weird, so I didn't want to be too suspicious. So
But you could have said, "Hey, I want a Coke in my souvenir cup."
Yeah. Maybe, but I had.
There,
they brought out bottled water.
You wouldn't have had to drink, and then you would have felt better this morning.
Yeah, I feel fine. The reason I'm hurting is because I got 5 hours of sleep. And that's not nearly enough. I'm supposed to have 9.
Wow.
9. Whoa.
Yeah, studies show that women should have 9 hours of sleep.
Whoa.
And fun fact, I am a woman.
Well,
so.
Sherry got 9 hours of sleep last night, I think. She fell asleep in the chair about 6:30, and I woke her up at 8 o'clock and said, "Get your ass to bed."
Yeah, so it'll be fine. I'm going to be fine. I get up at this time every day. Just not Sundays. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
And why does that make a difference, honestly? When you think about it. Why, it's like, why is sleeping in on getting up early on Sunday at the same time as you get up every other day of the week? Why does that make any difference?
Well, most of the time it's based off the time I go to bed the night before.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the clarity in this topic.
Yeah. I'm like a go to bed at, well, I normally go to bed at about 8 or 9. But lately it's been brought to my attention that that's weird that I do that at this age. So I've been motivated to try to stay up later.
Screw that.
I know.
Sleep is more important. Early to bed, early to rise. Right. My grandpa always said that. Early to bed, early rise. He always says makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. He never mentioned a woman.
So we don't know I don't know what it is there.
But I'm a true believer in get your ass to bed. And when we first opened that first restaurant, the big restaurant, they're like, "What time should we stay open? Should we stay open till 2?" And I was talking to, I think it was the sheriff, and he said, Darren, he said, nothing good ever happens in a bar after 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
He said,
"Well, that's a good point.
Nothing good ever happens after 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock tops. And that's why.
So you were actually considering staying open till 2?
Oh, we used to stay open late.
Yeah.
We used to stay open until the crowd. Oh, when we first started, hell, we had karaoke and we had all that other bar shit. And yeah, no, we're too old for that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have orchestras?
Well, the problem is you'd stay open that late and you do $200 in bar sales.
Right.
but you still got to keep people around. You still got to have a manager there. You still got to have a bartender there, whatever. You still, so no. We quickly got rid of that. It probably lasted 6 months, but.
I'll be damned. I didn't realize that. But he's right.
Y'all
Nothing good happens in a bar after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get shamed into the going to bed early. I think that's a nice, healthy practice.
I agree with you. Healthy practice.
Lane is he doesn't drink, so he just likes to stay up late. He's more of a night person and then sleep in the morning, as I am the other way around. So sometimes he wants to hang out and I'm in sleep by 9 p.m. and he is not, so. And then I get up at 7 and he sleeps until 9 or 10 in the morning. I always like that when people, they come in Friday and they're like, oh, yes, it's the weekend. And I always like going, you know what that means in the restaurant business? Things are about ready to get real. Our week's about ready to start.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Right?
Yeah. No, I'm fine.
Yeah, you look
I'm fine.
Could I get you some toothpicks for those eyes? So Randy had a busy day catering yesterday, or at least that's the story you told Emma.
Yeah. Jackass.
It's the catering. It's the restaurant business. It knows no days off.
It knows no days off, but that's fine. I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
It shouldn't. This was the text I got from Randy. I said, or Darren was making fun of me for having a busy schedule, and I said, yeah, 'tis the season. And Randy goes, fuck the season, it's time to make cash.
There you go. Exactly.
It was so unbelievably aggressive.
That's right. You make hay while they make hay, right?
Because after the first year, the hay may not be ready to cut.
That's right. Right.
So it's ready to cut now, so you better make it. Hell, I even booked booked a food truck event for next Sunday night from 7 to 9.
That's gonna be cold.
What did I say? Make hay while the sun shines.
But do you think you will? Because it's gonna be cold.
It's a private event. It's for a company here in town. They're having their Christmas party. They're having it at a bowling alley. And so
it's called Guaranteed.
Yes. We've got a guarantee on it and stuff. And, typically we don't do much on Sundays and that, but my favorite saying has been, and you guys can use this if you want to. Okay. It could be a long, cold winter.
Could be a long cold. It ain't going to be for Darren, December 27th. One-way ticket, baby.
You're happy as southbound.
I'm southbound, one-way ticket. Sherry, funny side story off of that. Sherry asked me the other day, she goes, what are you looking most forward to in Florida? And I said, you know what I'm looking most forward to in Florida? Looking most forward to getting up early in the morning when it's nice and quiet and spending like 6 or 7 hours out by the pool, working on my computer, working on analyzing our business and working on the system versus running around in the mayhem and working in the system.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I think she was kind of wanting an answer like, oh, just spending quality time with you, honey. But
that's what
she
you said
didn't
last
get that answer. So I ended up with, and taking you to happy hour at 3:00 in the afternoon.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And cooking you breakfast. I'll stop and cook her breakfast every morning when she wants and deliver it to her chair by the pool like I do every day.
There you go.
Like a real gentleman.
Yeah. So you had good caterings yesterday, though, Randy?
Yeah, and on Friday, too. Had a huge catering for 300 people. Huge for us. And
that's a pretty good size catering for anybody.
And making big round bales of hay.
Yeah, and had ribs for that, and that turned out really good. Had 75 racks of ribs And I can tell you that's how many racks you can get into an ELDX on 2 racks. It's about 75, 78 racks of ribs.
On 2 racks?
2 racks to a carousel.
On 2 racks. Steve. Yeah, 2 racks to a
not
carousel.
Triple, Not triple racks.
Yep.
2 racks.
On 8 spindles. Or
yes.
On 8. Yep. 8 racks.
Can you guys, wait, dumbify that down more?
There's 4 spindles in an ELEDX, and there's 3 places for 3 racks or 12 racks total. But he had the center racks out, so he was running 2 racks. So he had 8 total racks in the ELEDX.
Okay.
So I can get 75 racks on there doing them 3 wide. 3 wide and 3 deep.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, and
nice.
You know, it's kind of the old Uncle Mike method. And I use this because I asked Philip, because when I went to Chicago, so that's the Uncle Mike method.
Yeah.
Is how do you guys cook a shit pot full of ribs at once? You know, a full pit, you know. And because up there I was having to cook a bunch of ribs, and we were using 3 racks at a time. And
right.
And so to get them 3 wide, you have overlaps on each end.
Right.
And I figured that, you know, a lot of times when you get some overlap, it won't take the smoke. It'll be kind of anemic looking on the ends and stuff. And surprisingly enough, those ribs will shrink up enough and they turn out perfect.
You know, fun fact, Randy, I've never cooked ribs that way.
Well, I normally don't, but I did.
I normally cook them. What do I want to say to the rack?
Front to back.
Cook them front to back, not side to side. But I would imagine it probably helps if you overlap the skinny end of the rib, right?
Well, I didn't really pay any attention to that. I would just put one rack and then put another rack, and they would lap over, probably an inch, maybe 2 or 3 bones, you know, and then put the other rack on the other side. And so I was running 9 racks to a plate or a rack.
But we get 9 racks going the other way.
This way it's easier to sauce and stuff.
Oh, we don't sauce our ribs. We let our barbecue shine by itself.
There you go. Well, these were in a buffet line,
like
so
a diamond.
Yeah,
these were in a buffet line, so I had to have them. And that's another thing.
So they eat them all?
Well, you know, we all worry about, or at least I do, get concerned about your having enough food or having too much food. And if you have too much food, are your multipliers off? And should you start changing your multipliers, you know, on how much food you do?
Right.
This was an example. We did for 300, and we had a lot of food left over. But we looked at the numbers based on plates, and they probably only had 175 people come to the event.
Right.
So I guess the moral of the story is every now and then I get a little nervous about, well, are we doing too much, portions too big? But when you start doing a little research and finding out that they didn't have quite as many people, like an event I did last night, it was for like 45. And I told the guy, I said, you're going to have some food left over. I brought some clamshells. And he goes, well, we planned on it. He said, we planned for more people than what we expected because we wanted to have food for everybody to take home. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're kind of getting this weird thing. We've had conversations. We've had a couple times, and we serve big portions. Right.
You too.
So if we do a dinner platter, I mean, we're sending 6 ounces of meat and 6 ounces of each side, even though I think it's way too much. Way too much. We still continue to do it. And the last 2 weeks, we're getting a couple customers saying, "Hey, can you give us a package that has more food on it?" And I'm like, "Are you shitting me?
I know.
Are you shitting me?" So now we're looking at redesigning our catering menu to come up with some sort of Hungry Man special that is, I don't know, what do you want? You want a fucking pound and a half a person or 2 pounds of food per person? I'll serve you whatever you want.
God,
But I think there's a lot
gonna
of
be so much food wasted.
I know, but that's the problem, because I think you get so many caterers out there that cut the, I read online. I look at a lot of catering forums on, on Reddit and Facebook and whatever. And I look at some of when people talk about portion sizes, I'm like, that's not near enough. And I think there's a lot of instances where people don't send near enough food.
I do too.
And so what happens is you get all these people then, if they have 100 people, they instantly go, whoop, I got to buy for 125.
You're exactly right.
And then they come to us and they get 125 and they're like, fuck, there's way too much left over.
You're 110% right. Same here.
What's the answer? Because then you get some customers that go, oh, wow, these are plentiful. We don't eat that much. So then they order for 75 people.
Right.
When it's really 100 people. Hey, could you send some more buns? Because I'm really trying to screw you. I'm like, it's, and so the question, and I think we talked about that before, should it be per person or should it be per plate? Should it really be priced per plate?
I'm not following you on that. What do you mean by per plate?
Yeah, so what would be the difference?
Well, so
I guess
agree.
So if I give you a catering, if I sell you it's $10 per person, right? Just fictitious number, $10 per person. That means that person's going to come to that buffet and get full, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But if that person goes through the line twice and takes 2 plates, if I'm selling it per plate.
Yeah, but how would we know? Because a lot of people would just use the same plate. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about plates full of food. I'm just talking about equivalent.
So,
it's how do you differentiate that to the customer? Because it's a big misnomer. It's like it's this balance of you don't want to send way too much food. We know bigger events never have the total amount of people. They never, ever. You might as well shy it down 20%, but you don't want to get caught with your pants down.
Exactly.
Right? So you don't want to, so what's that backup supply and how would you get it rethermed or whatever if you do?
Well, and the other thing about a catering is, and I know you do a lot of drop-offs. A lot of your business is drop-offs. And a lot of mine is drop-offs. You don't know how much was left. You don't know how much was left, or you don't know how much is.
You don't.
And I had a guy tell me years ago. I said, do you call people back or send them an email and say, how did everything turn out? But are you looking for trouble?
Well,
are you looking for people?
We do that. We call
a marketing. Well, and from a marketing standpoint, you should be sending it. I mean, not everyone's going to answer them because they are kind of annoying, but you should be trying to get feedback. So you should be sending a post-event email saying, how did we do? Just to get that feedback.
Yeah, those are the ones
giving them a survey.
I delete every single time.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do it tastefully. Target will remind me that I didn't fill out a survey 19 times, and I'm like, well, now I really don't want to fill it out. So
I agree with you. But it's a challenge, figuring out. Now, as an example, I've got another catering tomorrow, and these people have ordered so much goddamn food, I have no idea how they're going to eat it all. And so to the point that I didn't even do it. I did it per plate or per person. And then started charging them by the pound because for the extra food that they want. because they came to me and said they wanted so many pounds of this, so many pounds of that. Now, where they've came up with those pound numbers, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And that's like, I know we're going to talk about the holiday stuff. I've got a lot of holiday people. They're repeat people, so they know what they've got before. So, they'll want 2 pounds of pork, 2 pounds of burnt ends, or 5 pounds of pork or whatever, But but for this catering tomorrow, I mean, but I'm still on our. They're going strong on proteins, but I'm going to go strong also on like our potato casserole, because it's a bunch of guys that work outside, and stuff, and so they're gonna devour those potatoes. They always do,
Right.
And that's the one I find sometimes. You do an event and you talk to them later on. They're like, "Well, we were kind of scraping the bottom of the pan, on those potatoes." And you go back and look at your numbers, and it's like, how in the fuck did you eat that much?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure it's the same way with you guys on your potatoes and mac and cheese and stuff.
Mac and cheese. You might as well. You can't send enough mac and cheese.
And what I hate is when I go do a catering, and you're standing there and you see people, the first few people go through the line. Well, just like Friday, second guy through the line took 2 sandwiches. And I'm like, oh shit, is this going to be a trend?
No, always happens. Fat guy always eats first.
And I was like, oh shit. And I'm starting to get nervous, and then see everything throttles back down and stuff. So,
and then the secretary comes through and gets a little,
and then you
makes up for it.
Yeah. So, you like calms you down a little bit. So,
yeah, that's always the scare of the catering thing.
But like this one I'm doing tomorrow, it's just a drop off, and I would have a nervous breakdown, I think, if I stayed there and watched it, because they'd be taking so much big portions and stuff. But I think that's something we all deal with is, you got the multipliers kind of where you want them at, and based on profitability and stuff, but then, you want to make sure the customer's happy. So.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, and I think you made a comment earlier, and I see that a lot, where, they'll say, okay, we want lunch for 125 people. And then you get to talking to them and said, well, just an example like last night. But a lot of these they're like, well, we really only going to have 100 people there. But in the past, the people we've got food from has always been light. So and then that starts screwing with your head a little bit. But I mean, they're paying you for 125 people, so
set them 125. Yeah, my problem is, and I know we've talked about this, but is like we've always sent out 6 ounces of both sides. Well, we know sure as shit you're not going to eat 6 ounces of beans.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've tried, and you can get by. So if I see a big catering come through and I see the sheet and says 6 ounces, I will catch it and say, dial that bitch down.
Right.
Dial her bitch down, dial her back to 3 ounces. Leave the mac and cheese at 6, leave the potatoes at 6, but dial the rest of that stuff down to 3 ounces, because nobody knows when you're serving full pans. But where we get in trouble is the 30-person catering. So if we're sending out mac and cheese, we'll send a deep half, a gallon, we'll feed 25 to 30. Okay. That's our kind of, it depends what it is, but saying, if we're saying mac and cheese, we're saying 25 to a gallon, 1.2 gallon we would send for 30, which would be a deep half full, all the way full, deep half foil pan, all the way full. Well, we send the same in beans now, but beans, you really only need a half pan, right? To feed that amount of people, or maybe just a little bit more. And so when we don't send the same amount on small caterings, customers go, well, I didn't get very many beans, even though they're not going to eat very many beans. I didn't get, well, I paid for that. So it goes back to not provide. Well, I didn't tell you I just told you I was going to give you enough to feed 30 people.
Exactly.
I didn't tell you I was giving you exactly the same amount of everything. So that's the big misnomer in communication. But it's all communication with the customer.
Do you think there's a lot of caterers out there that do a catering by the pound instead of?
I think there's still a lot of those. I think there's still a lot of those that do that. That they do by the pound, but then they do delivery after 250. Our biggest competitor does it. They don't do it per person.
What did you say? A delivery over 250?
Well, so they'll say, hey, we do meat by the pound, but we won't deliver it unless it's over $250.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So they don't do it per person. They just do, hey, you can order bulk meats. And some of them even have a calculator out there that, hey, you got 15 people, plug it in, put it in your menu. It'll tell you exactly what you need, what you want.
Right.
And then order that amount.
It's kind of funny when you can tell when a customer has been somewhere else, because I always get the deal where they'll want to order by the pans. They'll go, especially during the holidays, I want a pan of potatoes. Well,
what kind of pan? I got 5. I got 6 different pans.
And then how many people are you feeding? Well, I just need a pan. Well, a full-size pan's going to get about 35 pounds of potatoes in it, and not 35 pounds. No.
Yeah. What?
15.
15 pounds.
Continue
feed
on.
35 people. Feed 30 to 35 people. And, they're like, oh. So you got to do kind of a learning curve to get them switched over to, here's how much you want to feed them. And that's the ones I like. They go, I got 20 people for Christmas Eve. What do I need? And it's like, okay.
You're the expert. What do I need?
Yeah. And they don't question it. But at the same time, I'm not trying to screw them over either.
Right.
Right.
That's the real kicker.
Yep. Yeah, we get a little, I would say we get a little reprieve before this, with Thanksgiving being a week later than normal.
Right.
Right. It seems like, catering, normally we get kind of a little bit of a reprieve, but I mean, it's been like full throttle for us every day. I mean, it's been 15 to 20 every single day. I mean, we had, what was it? I walked in the other day and Jim into the kitchen and he's like, you got to look at the routing. And I said, why? He goes, I got 15 deliveries between 11 and 12.
Oh my God.
Okay, dude, it's fine. No big deal.
Many.
So I'm sitting there looking at the board, trying to do it. And finally, the only way to really, and I'm like, I used to be a logistics guy. We used to have logistics. I used to be a logistics software guy that you just plug in the addresses that would route optimize this. And, so I got it down. I got it all optimized. I had to use 5 trucks, of course, 5 vans. Of course, everything was on the wrong side of the town. We distinctly had caterings on the east side of Des Moines, on the west side, on north into Ankeny and downtown. But of course, the east side one there was 2 of them, one at 11, one at 12:30. The west side ones were exactly the opposite. So we had vans crossing just because we didn't, first of all, it was 20 degrees outside.
Right.
And so we didn't want food sitting in vans for an hour.
Right.
Even in Cambros and stuff. So it was like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, it was just not a good day. So it was a good day. We got everything done.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things that it's like, we have to implement this window. And we've never got it done, but we've got to implement this. We're telling people, what time do you want delivered? I want it at 11:15, and we deliver it at 11:15 or a little before. Right. And I'm like, nope, we've got to say, hey, which delivery window do you want? Do you want 11 to 11:20? Do you want 11:20 to 11:40, or do you want 11:40 to noon? And so giving us a 20-minute window, so that we can better route optimize, because like I had a couple that I'm like, well, we have 2 at 11 o'clock. And I'm like, but they're 2 minutes apart. So we're going to deliver this one 10 minutes early.
Right.
We're just going to drip it 10 minutes early. And we're going to go to the customer and say, hey, sorry, we can leave the Cambro if you want. We're 10 minutes early, but we got one right down the street. We're just trying to make us more efficient. And the customer will go, no problem. Drop it off. Done. That food's going to stay warm in a pan once it's inside.
Sure.
So not a big deal, but
I do like that window deal for what you're, as many as you do. And
a lot of people do that. I'm trying to think of.
Well, think about DoorDash.
Yeah. Well,
DoorDash, your window is whenever the fuck you want it. And people are just accustomed to that.
That's what it sounds like.
Whenever you're going to get it.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's on how big you want to tip.
Yeah.
Is that what really determines how fast you'll get it?
Yeah, we've talked about this a million times. I could give them. Darren gives them these big fat tips because
my food is hot
loaded.
And crispy every single time.
He's
not because I'm loaded, because I'm just testing the system.
So he gives them $25 tips, and us over here just doing the regular.
What is a regular tip for a DoorDash?
Oh, fuck, like $8.
$8, $25.
Not that much difference, but your food's crispy and it gets there when you want it.
Not that much difference. It's a big difference.
Would you rather me do $8, or would you rather me give my money away to somebody? Right?
You never pay for my DoorDash, so I can't answer that question.
Oh, I fed you plenty of free meals there, sister.
Okay.
Remember how many days when you worked here that we wanted to take pictures of food just because you were hungry?
Okay, that did not happen as frequently as you thought it did. That was not the case. You keep saying that, but that's not what happened.
I was supposed to call you out last week about something, and now I can't remember what it was.
Who told you that?
Your mom. I was supposed to call you out. Now I'm mind blanking. She goes, I can't believe you didn't call Emma out more about that.
I know exactly what it was, because she has been calling me out about it left and right. And I extremely exaggerated on how I can go a week without talking to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, you could tell Darren was holding back. And I said, I wish he would have just ripped into me. It would have been way funnier. But she's been making fun of me plenty about it. I was like, Mom, it's clearly an exaggeration. And she's like, because I called her. I call her every day.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm usually with her.
Yeah. She just doesn't respond. I just my thing is that working. I call. Well, most of the time she is. Randy.
Oh, okay.
But my thing is that I normally, I will say none of my calls are almost ever important. Actually, they never are. But I'm the kind of person that I'm too impatient to send a text and wait for a response. Or my thoughts are too long.
So she FaceTimes her, because we're sitting here like last week. Amanda's baking pies, right? And she's nailed the pies. Okay, she's got fruit pies. Yeah. She has nailed the fruit pies, right? Right. After a few weeks, she has nailed the fruit pies.
Yeah.
And so she's covered in flour, whatever, and FaceTime. I'm like, okay, I'll answer this phone. Emma. Yeah, it's funny, Randy. Her and Darren, I think, are going to have to start looking for a bigger house, because all their kids except for Emma, and now they're not spouses, but all their significant others keep moving back into their house.
What the hell? Yeah. You got a boarding home or something?
Now it's like Emma will be the only only kid not living back in their house.
So it's funny you say that, because like how Randy started this whole call with the whole icy, we had an ice storm Friday night. So Friday, I FaceTimed my mom a lot. I was bored. Everything got canceled because it was raining, or we were supposed to have this crazy ice storm. And so I made a Lego set that my mom got me for my birthday. I built it on Friday. It's sick, by the way. But
Like
I FaceTimed her.
Sick? Like
No,
vomiting,
like
puking
it looks
sick?
cool. You guys
Like
want to see it?
vomiting sick?
No, it's cool. Let's look at it. It's sitting right here. I've been staring at it the whole time.
Is that like Chris Stapleton stares at his wife when he says, "You're staring at your"? Oh, that's a Lego.
That is neat.
And it lights up. You can't really see. And this door moves. Doo-doo.
Oh,
Anyway,
dear.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We were shopping for those last week.
I
That's
built
crazy.
this so unbelievably fast. Lane
Like
was like,
Rubik's Cube. We used to have Rubik's Cube, Randy. It
Yeah.
took us hours to do it.
Boom, boom, boom. Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
So I built that
I
in.
can never get it right.
It was 214 steps, and I built it in about 3.5 hours, maybe, which is not like a record by any means, but I'm getting a lot faster at building them. So Lane was like, I thought that was going to give you something to do all night, and it did not. I was done by like 7. And I was like, what am I going to do for the next couple hours? I can't go to bed. So I called my mom to show her my Legos. And my brothers, so Carter had surgery my youngest brother had surgery on Friday. On his shoulder because he dislocated it and all this stuff. So yeah, everybody was home. And they were like, Emma, come over. We're having drinks. We're getting crazy. Bring some board games. Come on. And I was like, no, I'm going to stay home. I like my home and my alone time and my space. I'm going to stay home. And also, I don't want to get stormed in at anywhere else. And my mom's like, okay, suit yourself, but everybody's here. And I was like, who's everybody? She's like she said, Bailey and Reagan, which are my brother's girlfriends. And I was like, what? Okay, let me think about it. And then I think maybe 5 minutes later, I called him back and was like, what do I need to bring? I'm coming over. Because I immediately got FOMO. I was like, well, I don't want to be stuck at home by myself.
Randy, you know FOMO? FOMO acronym.
Oh, that's
FOMO.
one of your acronyms. Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, fear of missing out.
I think it may have started as a crypto term, actually.
No, it did not. But
kind of like a BOGO, buy one get one.
Yes.
Yeah,
FOMO.
Yeah. So anyway, Friday night, all of us were home. I stayed there with my dog. So we had 3 dogs and
fucking chaos.
I think 10 people. 9 people? No, 8 people. It was so many people. But yeah. So she can't fully get rid of me. However, I do know to give her space, even though I was at her house quite a bit last week. And I call her all the time. She can't get rid of me.
Yeah, I know.
I think she's tried. She always talks about how she has to bribe the other 3. And I just won't leave her alone. In a loving way.
Why do you FaceTime instead of just not doing a phone call?
Oh, I just like to see everybody's sparkling, beautiful faces. It feels a lot more... It feels like and for me, I do, video chats at work, but, we don't do cameras on. So, sometimes it's just to have that connection, I guess. Just to be like, hey.
I'm just curious. Just curious.
Yeah. So I FaceTime. And yeah, I prefer calling.
You know what happens when
text.
when I call? I get flushed 50% of the time.
What?
Do you really?
When you call?
Yeah, when I call her, I get flushed 50% of the time.
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh,
because she's on the phone with you.
No. I get... She answers my phone calls. She's going to be so mad. She doesn't answer my phone calls as much because I think she knows that they're pointless. So she won't answer them. And then she'll text me and be like, is something wrong? And I'll be like, no. Or she will answer it and be like, is this important? And I'll be like, no. And she'll be like, okay, well, I'm busy. So I'm going to go.
I'm busy. She is busy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I can't.
She's got Darren breathing down her the pies. The wrath of pie is wreathing down because this week will be the cream pie wrath.
Oh, I'm sure she's gonna love.
When are you going to introduce pies there at the Jam?
We did.
Oh,
we started selling them on. We started selling them on Thursday. on Wednesday, she cooked off these pies, and I said, "Man, they were beautiful." And so I'm like, it was late in the day, and so I like, no, was that Thursday? Yeah, it wasn't even late in the day. And I said, "Hey, what?" And I said, "Give me those pies." What? And I said, I'm gonna cut them. I'm gonna go sell them bitches. So we went. And we sold a bunch of them.
Are you selling them in? Are you putting them in the
By
merchandiser?
No,
or
so so what we did was we sold them by the slice.
Yeah.
So we just had them in the back, selling them by the slice.
Yeah.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, I put them in containers, and then we put them in the merchandiser and sold them for $1 discount.
Yeah.
Because it's day old.
I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't sure because, like, you know how Perkins has it is essentially a display case for their pies. Like, that's how they kind of do it. But, I mean,
that was the conversation yesterday, because they're like, all these old people are going to want that, they're going to want the discounted pie. So they're going to want to eat that pie there. And I'm like, well, then go grab the pie out of the merchandiser. It's a day old. It's not fresh pie.
Yeah.
It's day old pie. If they want it, well, then they're going to want it warmed up. And I'm like, okay, well, then throw the piece of plastic in the damn microwave. And if it melts all over their pie, then so be it. I mean, we're not going to fight with them, but we're sure the hell not going to take it out of the thing and put it on a piece of plate for them and da. I mean, we'll do it. I don't care about warming it up for them if they want to eat it here and eat it at a discount, because that's fine. It's day old pie.
Yeah, just use your plate charge.
Right. But most normal people are going to go, yeah, I want to slice that fresh pie. I mean, it looks really good. It's fresh pie, but of course, actually sold pretty good. So then and Friday we had, I don't know, we had 2.5 pies left, I think it was. And so my buddy was coming through town, and I said, hey, and he wanted to pick up stuff, go on deer hunting. I said, hey, you want to buy some pies? And he goes, yeah, what do you got? And I said, I'm going to make you up a mix. So I sold him 2 full pies to take to deer camp. And I sent him he got a message last night about 10 o'clock. And he said, wow, those are fucking great. Yeah, got it figured out.
The best.
Good.
Yeah. Good. She's good. She has her own way of getting there. She won't accept any help. I told her, I said, Amanda, you don't know how many pie people that I know that do pies for a living that will help us every bit of the way. She wants to figure it out for herself. So once she figures it out, and then replicating it. So she's got it figured out, the crust and the filling, and she's got it figured out.
Yeah. You know what I'm pumped about? She's making prime rib next week. Because we're doing our Christmas, depending. We're trying to do our Christmas a week early. Just so that we all can be there. And she's making our legendary Christmas Eve dinner, prime rib and crab legs, and I'm pumped.
I'm gonna talk her into the pre-cooked prime rib this year.
She'll probably do it.
It's so much
just
better.
To save her some time.
It's so much simpler.
So much simpler, so much better. Yeah, I got that last night from Sherry. She's like, "What are we doing for Christmas dinner?" And I'm like, "I don't know. That's like 10 days away, honey. I don't even know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow."
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
At 7 o'clock.
On the weekends, you never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Weekends, especially like yesterday, freezing rain, had icy conditions. I drove all the way to the south side to Mullet's, and nobody's there. I'm like, what the fuck? I look on their Facebook. We're opening at 9. I'm like, what the hell? It's my Jam's open. Why the hell aren't you open?
Yeah.
So you put people's lives in danger yesterday morning?
Oh, Christ. Were you out on the road?
Yeah, by 10.
Turn off.
They were fine.
I drove in at 4:30 in the morning, and guess what? They were fine. Roads were fine.
I didn't. Well, first of all, you were going to say turn off the TV. I didn't turn on the TV. I looked at 511.
And they
trust that with my life.
And 511 said normal.
They were blue.
Winter,
no.
Normal winter driving conditions.
No, they did not.
Partially covered.
Partially covered, which is a drive with caution. And if you know my driving history, that means don't get on the road.
That means that means people like you should stay home, but normal people should.
However,
they can go out.
I let my dad drive. We went to my cousin's birthday thing, and Dad drove. And then when he was like, okay, Emma, these roads are fine. I was like, great, sick. I'll drive home after, or I'll drive myself home later. And then I went out last night, and the roads were great.
I was all over this town yesterday, and it was, so then I went to Homegrown for breakfast because it was downtown. I'm like, I'm just going to go to Homegrown. Nice.
Have you been there before?
No.
It's hard to get into that place.
It wasn't yesterday.
Oh,
I was the only one there.
Yeah.
I was the only one there.
I haven't tried to get in. It's also been open for over a year now, and I haven't tried to get in lately.
I was the only one there. All I know is
pretty nice.
They really didn't know I was a restaurant guy, and here was the general manager was sitting here, this gal, and here comes the owner walking through the door, and he's like, and of course it's 7:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And he is almost chewing her ass that what do we have a full staff in the kitchen for? I'm taking care of it. I'm trying to take care of it. I'm like, I about said, hey. He said, Dick, you want to come to work for somebody that's not? Yeah. I mean, he was just a dick.
They have Pop-Tarts too, don't they?
Yeah, I didn't order one. I did have a very nice...
Why not? Why not?
Because
it would have been great market research.
I don't eat like that.
Okay.
I don't. I just don't eat sweets much anymore. So I did splurge, and I had a Florentine Eggs Benedict with the spinach and onions. Well, it's a Eggs Benedict with spinach and onion. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And it was topped with a little bit of bacon on top of it. It was very nice. It was very nice.
It sounds good.
Yeah. Egg was just a little overdone, just like Lane's was that day at the Jam. Just a little overdone, but it was fine. I can eat an egg anyway. I would give it a 4.8.
Out of 10?
No, out of 5.
Oh.
You don't rate food on 10s.
I rate your foods on 10.
Well, get this. Speak it just quick like that, and then let's talk more about prime rib. So we got a 3-star at the Jam, right?
Yeah.
This week. 3-star Google review. Okay. Love the food. Love the service. I can't believe somebody would serve made from scratch meals and then give me whipped spread butter.
Yeah.
3 stars for the overall review. So 5, 5, and 3, but gave the overall review was a 3-star. And I'm like, well, first of all, dude, we have real butter. But the health department makes me keep the real butter in the refrigerator because it has to be a refrigerator.
Right.
The whipped spread I can keep out. So when you get it, you can actually spread it on your toast. Now, the real butter, you'd have to put underneath your armpit for about 10 seconds or 10 minutes to get warm in order to spread, or you can chunk it up because I can't leave the real butter on the counter, even though Grandma used to do that and was fine. Nobody ever died.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to do the real butter out front. I really would. But the health department says it's real butter. It's got to be in the refrigerator.
Yeah. You told us about that review last week, and somebody commented.
I did.
Yeah. Somebody commented and said that they put their butter in their kitchen cabinet next to the honey and peanut butter. Now that, I was like, that's crazy.
No.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Butter. Yeah.
No, I don't like that. I mean, when it's on the counter, I don't know, because when it's on the counter, it doesn't feel so like. I mean, I'm not.
Why do you think
I don't
all those
leave my butter out?
Why do you think all those antique ceramic dishes, butter dishes had a cover on?
I mean, I got people that do that. I just like putting it in the cabinet really threw me. I was like, that's out of sight, out of mind. At least when the butter's on the table, I'm like, oh, I have butter. I can't let that sit there. I mean, too terribly long. But
I think once RFK gets all the chemicals out of this shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I need
once he gets all the chemical, we'll be able to put our butter back on the counter again.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
I have to stop. Our number one listener, we're going to talk about her again. I got I wouldn't say a complaint. I got a suggestion from our number one listener last week that I need to stop saying Jesus Christ. She's like, hey, let's come up with a new catchphrase. Want to? So.
Kind of like me and being a Nazi, right? I catch myself saying that all the time. I'm like, I don't know why I say that, but.
So we're going to try to start saying, geez Louise. Jeez Louise.
Oh, no, that's not very fun.
Well, my middle name's Louise, so it just feels fitting.
Okay.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
Holy shit.
Prime rib.
Prime rib.
So prime rib. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to cook for dinner. You're going to have prime rib. I'm going to talk your mom into the pre-cooked prime rib because
why is that?
Well, because the pre-cooked prime rib, and we learned this last year from Brian and Carrie Luke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just got a message that I need to report the podcast this morning, and for some reason, I just got my...
Oh, you set your timer for...
Timer's wrong.
Huh.
Timer reminder for 6:30 instead of 5:30.
Huh. So anyway, but they sous vide them. It's so tender. It's fork tender. It's so much better than you can cook it a regular piece of meat yourself.
Yeah.
And you can fight me all you want about it, but it's the truth. Randy?
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Okay.
All the trials and tribulations, and I mean, you can tell it's the holiday season because you go on any place on Facebook or mainly Facebook, there's a different way to cook prime rib. Somebody's cooking prime rib this way, that way,
Yeah.
And it takes all that problem out of it.
And the beauty is the price of the pre-cooked prime rib is the same price you can buy a raw one, but the raw one you're going to have to trim down.
Yes.
And you're going to have shrinkage where the shrinkage has already occurred in the pre-cooked one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's not going to shrink anymore. So when you buy 8 pounds, you got 8 pounds. Whereas if you buy 8 pounds, you're only going to have 6.5 pounds when you get done.
Plus your labor of trimming it and everything. And
yeah, but you're at home, so you really don't get to count that too much.
Okay.
If you're in the restaurant business, right. But your ability to not fuck it up is so much better because even if you undercook a little bit, it's all cooked through anyway. It's already cooked to a rare. So all you got to have is that. I mean, you literally could not even cook it.
Right.
And just have the boiling hot au jus and take slice off and put it in the au jus for like a minute and take it out and it would be ready to go.
Exactly.
Because that's what the restaurants do.
It's good. It's very good.
I went to this steakhouse in Big Steer in Altoona on last week after we recorded this
I've ate there. Yeah. It's out there by the racetrack.
Yeah, by the
casino.
casino.
Yeah, I've ate there.
I went there last week after we recorded the podcast instead of cooking dinner. And I had prime rib. They put, best prime rib in Iowa on their menus, and they were correct.
Really?
Yeah. And they're not, I guarantee they're not doing a pre-cooked one. They're probably doing the warmer overnight.
Yeah.
Old school warmer prime rib because, and the only reason I know that because they trim all their own steaks.
Yeah.
And so you can go in there on Monday and once a week they grind everything up and you can actually buy burger from there.
Yeah.
And
which is why we went. Well, we went with Lane's parents. That's why they wanted to go, was to get burger.
Did you get burger? How much was the burger?
I don't know. I didn't check the ticket, but or the seat. Hey, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to the prime rib Mom's gonna make. However she does it, it's always good.
Why do you think people do prime rib for Christmas? How's it become such a?
I don't know.
I mean, you got turkeys for Thanksgiving. Turkey's a big one, Thanksgiving, and
I don't know. I've got a friend that does our sauce. He makes our sauce for the mac and cheese company, for the Crafty Mac out there, and they do steak de Burgo, and his father-in-law was one of the original guys. They had a restaurant in Des Moines, a Greek restaurant. I don't remember the name of it, but he was one of the original guys that actually cooked in one of the original Italian restaurants that made steak de Burgo.
Now, what's steak de Burgo?
So it's kind of it's a sauce. De Burgo sauce is kind of a sauce you put over, and normally it's made with beef tenderloin tips, and they put this de Burgo sauce, and it's really good. So anyway, it's really a Des Moines thing, actually. Started in Des Moines. So he was telling me the story about his father-in-law was one of the originators of this de Burgo, and so every year they switched away from turkey at Thanksgiving to steak de Burgo, and they have this big group at Thanksgiving. And he goes, I want to up my game. I'd like to get in some Wagyu fillets. Can you help me with that? And I'm like, yeah, I can get you some Wagyu fillets. So he goes, I want 6-ounce fillets. I'm like, dude, do you know what you're buying here? And he goes, yep, I know. I said, I can get him a little discount. So I got out to Snake River Farms and got a little bit of a discount. But even with my discount, I mean, it was 36-ounce fillets was $1,000.
Wow.
Right? But he didn't care. So I ordered him in, and he's like, unbelievable.
Nope.
Unbelievable.
They cook them on the grill?
Yeah, normally you would sear them in a pan.
Right.
Finish them in the oven and then do the de Burgo sauce. You wouldn't grill them, but you would sear them in a pan.
But they did put the de Burgo sauce on them.
They put he made his father-in-law made the homemade de Burgo sauce, which nobody can seem to replicate. But it's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know what we're doing. Where are you going, Randy? Are you going somewhere? Or are you cooking?
No. Marla's fixing lasagna, homemade lasagna.
Are we gonna? After Christmas, I think last year we discussed that she made maybe the biggest lasagna ever to be made.
Yeah, she does. There's only 3 of us, and it's enough to feed 20.
Yeah, I would like to weigh it this year. I think you weighed it last year. I'd like to compare and contrast. I don't know. I think you did. I have to go back and listen.
No, I'll try to remember to weigh it.
Yeah.
I mean, she sends it home with her brother, and we eat on it for a couple of days. And
I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe you could ship it up to Amanda, because she's got like a constant football team at her house. So you could
that's
you could
true.
send the leftovers here.
Yeah.
She does.
And I'm looking at your leftovers. She called me on Friday morning and said when she was sitting in surgery, and she goes, "Hey, I got a Greek salad sitting in my refrigerator. Give it to somebody to eat because it won't be good by Monday." And guess where? It's still sitting in her refrigerator.
Sitting in the refrigerator
Because I forgot about it.
Oh no, she's gonna be mad.
Or should I? Oh, she'll listen. I'm busted already. I could go.
Yeah, you're busted. No sense. Throw it in the trash and say you gave it to Julie or somebody.
Yeah. Damn it. Always. Oh well. I don't know what we're doing. Sherry's all over me. Figure it out. I don't know. I said, well, how many meals is everybody going to eat by the time they get to us?
Yeah.
I did full on authentic Mexican last year. I think it was. I don't know. She says, I want something that you don't have to cook all day long.
Oh, look at her.
Like,
she just wants to spend quality time with you.
And I'm like, man, you just ruined my Christmas. I mean, because that's what I want to. Because that's what I want to do. I finally I get a day that I can cook all day. If I'm not going to cook all day, then I'm going to go to the restaurant and fix shit.
Yeah.
Right? So,
or you could just spend the holiday with your loving wife because that's what she wants. Gift her quality time, Darren. It's what she wants.
Huh.
Right.
Right.
She's about ready to get a lot of Darren time, one-on-one.
There you go.
On the 27th.
So yeah, we've come to the conclusion that the pre-cooked prime ribs. I wonder if you can get those at the supermarket. You probably can, can't you?
I don't think so. I've never seen one.
So where should she get her? Is the restaurant doing prime rib? Where would she get a pre-cooked? No, prime rib?
I just order in one.
Oh, special treatment. Nice. Oh, can you hear that? My stomach is rumbling.
It is 6:30, 6:40, and you know what that means?
It's about time for dinner.
You know what that means?
Eat breakfast.
Nope. Nope. It means it's time for the acronym of the week.
Good transition,
Oh,
dude.
Acronym of the week. Well, I've got one that's, I don't know. I was thinking age sensitive or not, but it is
Oh, shit.
WTL.
WTL.
TL. Where's the lube?
Oh. I want to cry.
To use it in context, honey, where's the lube?
I don't want to.
WTL.
I don't want to use it in context. Oh, it's not even 7 a.m., Randy.
I thought you were talking about to use it in context as I was going through the oil change line.
Yeah.
And the mechanic yells over to the other one, "Where's the lube?"
It kind of is. You can use it in any other kind of going through the oil change line. and yeah, you can use it that context also.
On that note, this is my last episode.
That might be the best acronym ever.
Where's the lube?
Stop saying it.
I'm getting WTL. Where's the lube t-shirts made?
There you go.
No.
And a bottle with shit squirting out of it.
Ew, stop it. Stop. What is wrong with you? I don't know why I even asked that question. I know that there's so many screws loose up there.
We got to get us a Shopify store where we can start Cue the Mic Lube.
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
We
got to start selling novelty items to fund this thing.
Or get stickers. So you could put stickers on stuff. You know,
yeah, like on your coffee cup, like everybody does.
Oh, the coffee cup, or the cabinet inside the cabinet door of the vanity door. You know, in your bathroom. Oh, yeah. Where the mirror's at. Open that up, and there'd be a WTL.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy, we better go.
Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. God. Gross.
That made my day.
You can use that the rest of the day.
That's good.
Freaking nasty. Okay.
TL.
Stop. Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh. Okay. Well, stop. What is wrong with you? Like, between the two of you, I'm convinced every single screw up here is loose.
Nah, we're just not guys.
Not going to argue that point, are we, Darren? Several people have accused that of us for several years, you know. You two got a fucking screw loose up there.
Okay, well, I'm
telling you, this is going to be well worth to listen to the end.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end, you earned it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you made it to the end, you might as well also follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod if you haven't already. Or find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast. And, yeah. Like, subscribe, follow. Do all the things. Okay, Randy. Take it away.
Boom. Done. Out of here. Over with.
Wow.
And just remember, WTL.
Oh, God.
WTL. Boom. That's it for now.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly right.
I'll see you guys next week.